a record of the delightful piece they're going to play this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Attention, please. Attention, please.
And now the moment we've been waiting for is here.
Hey, set off, whatever will be. Will be. Dum, ding, dum, da, 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 da. Oh, you're divine.
Hi, welcome to Quirky Birds Podcast. I'm Heather.
And I'm Nadia.
And today we have a badass affirmation for you, or rather an affirmation for a badass. Let's see. Shuffle or just grab?
Shuffle.
Okay, I'll just grab from the middle.
Okay. The universe is speaking.
Don't try to fit in. You were born to stand out. Oh,
That's a good one.
That is a good one
I like
because
that
you know what? I never tried to fit in.
You know what? That actually leads perfectly into the story I'm going to tell you.
Okay,
So,
hit me with it.
Dude, I have been watching a ton of TikTok lately. And we'll preface this with, I know nothing of sports.
Me either. I don't.
Right.
Me either.
Yeah. So
We're artists. We're not Sporty
We're not
Spice.
sporty, yeah.
I'm Scary Spice.
I'm like,
You're Posh
I'm
Spice.
Posh. I'm Posh Spice. So we're not sports. So we are not experts in this topic. This is just something I have been seeing through social media and I wanted to bring up and tell you about. So recently there has been this lady who is trending. Her name is Caitlin Clark, and she is on the WNBA Indiana Fever.
Okay.
I think, yes, Fever. All right. So it is her first year. So she's a rookie. She's just out of college and she's fantastic. She's just an awesome player and she's doing really, really well. And she's kind of gotten this fan base to suddenly join the WNBA. And let's be real, nobody knows.
Nobody goes to,
Yeah, nobody-
like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing that, like, nobody goes to
Right.
WNBA.
Yeah.
Right?
So no, they really haven't gotten any. So, I mean, most women's
So
sports don't.
she's getting people to come
Yes.
and get in the seats to watch.
Yes, like they're selling out her games.
Holy
And
crap.
What's crazy is she got drafted into like one of the worst teams, which I think there's only like 10, but she got on one of the worst teams, and now they're moving towards like one of the best teams.
So
in the league.
she's killing it.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And she's also like a team girl. So like when you see her interviews and everything, she is very much my team. Like it's not her feeling like I need all the attention. It is my team was amazing. Like this person was great. She's like a girl's girl. She is like supporting her team. And she's like number 1 with assists, which is like assisting other players to score,
Okay.
I guess. So,
Yeah.
But she's awesome. And she makes these like insane 3-point throws from like practically half court, which is like,
Dang.
yeah. So she's a badass.
She's a badass.
She's like making these points from even further than professional NBA all-stars that
That are men.
that are doing these. It's crazy. And she's getting, a lot of respect for it, and she's getting tons of fans.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. But there's some tea. And I love tea.
We love the tea.
I love the tea. So there's this other team, the Chicago Sky, I think is what they're called. And they have the Mean Girls.
Uh-oh.
I know. So, and of course, we've all seen Mean Girls. We know they come in a pack. So there's always more than one. But I would say the head one is this girl like Angel Reese. And then she's got this like pack of friends. And they like bully Caitlin.
What do they do to her?
Like, so they
How do they bully her?
Oh my gosh. So there was this one game where Caitlin was just standing there. She didn't have the ball. She wasn't, actively playing, which I understand. It can be a physical sport. Sometimes you get bumped, whatever. She wasn't actively doing anything. She was standing there. And one of the Mean Girls came up and just like whack and knocked
Elbowed
her
her?
down. Yeah, like knocked her on the ground while she was like just standing there.
Wow.
Not even, yeah. And the other Mean Girl got up from the bench and was cheering that she knocked this girl down.
Wow.
And so it became this thing they call a flagrant foul, which is like a totally unnecessary, like just bitch move, like kind of a thing where it's like, it's a deliberate, not just an accident, not in the heat of the game kind of a thing, whatever. Like they're deliberately.
So
going
did they
after
like
her.
get kicked out of the game, or do you even know?
No, she gets like extra. She gets to throw more baskets.
Okay.
Okay, again, sorry. So this has been happening though multiple times. These girls keep getting, like, there was another time when one of the girls like smacked her in the head when she was going up to shoot. Like,
Okay.
it's a lot. Like, they're mean girling it.
Wow.
And I'm kind of like, I'm super disappointed because, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love the tea. I love the drama. And, you know, this kind of one-sided rivalry with these mean girls, because Caitlin's like, she is being nothing but classy and humble. She does not mention them. She does not talk bad about them. She doesn't even like acknowledge their meanness.
Wow.
Yeah, she's super class act. And these girls are just catty. Like, their interviews, everything, they're like, it should be all about me kind of a thing. And instead of being like, you know what, this woman is bringing, you know, viewers, fans,
Popularity.
right, everything,
Money.
to a sport that wasn't having any of that.
Right.
Like, women's sports in general don't have that.
They don't get any love.
They don't get any love.
Right.
So the fact that people, like kids,
Are showing
everyone
love and
showing love,
supporting.
going to games, like buying the jerseys, like all of the things, and they're like mean girling it, and that's kind of disappointing because I feel like they should all know, like, this is a chance for their sport. Like, this is the chance for their sport to get
Notoriety.
real recognition.
That's awesome.
And it's just, I don't know, it's kind of disappointing to me.
Right, because where have we become as a society where, I mean, of course we know where it all stems from like media in the 80s and fucking bullshit from our childhoods,
Right.
of like pinning girls against girls and like, but I feel like we had been moving towards more of a women building up women. So
Right.
this is like a huge setback, I feel like,
I
because
agree.
we should be building each other up, because
Right.
as women we go through enough shit
Right.
just in general to have to like take on more shit from other women.
Right.
When like,
It should be.
why
it's
can't
like,
we all be
like,
friends and
right.
be
Like, it's one thing
Why
to be
can't we all just get
competitors. I
along?
get that. Right. Like, you can be in competition with someone and have good sportsmanship in that competition. Like, I feel like
Absolutely.
it's like, okay, you're not going to win all the games. You're not going to score all the points or whatever it is. You can still have good sportsmanship about it and respect the other players that you're playing against. And it's like, okay, it just wasn't your game. It wasn't your night. But when people are like trying to physically hurt this woman because she's doing well, because she's like killing it her first year, they're actively trying to physically hurt her in a game. And it's like, no, like, that's such a setback to me. And it's very disappointing because it's like, okay, you've got this momentum for your league, and then you see them, the mean girls, and it's like, do I want to cheer for you?
Well, and why can't we use this as a learning experience too? And like, instead of being hateful or, you know, jealous or whatever it is that's going on,
Right.
why don't you take Caitlin's lead, like take that as, how can I better myself?
Yes.
What is she doing that
That
I can do to elevate myself?
Right.
Right?
Like, you'll look at,
Like, why can't we learn from each other and be positive role models for each other?
Agreed.
And
especially when you see the interviews of Caitlin and most of the comments about her, it's like, she's classy, she's humble, she's, you know, she's just seems like a genuinely nice person and not in it really for the spotlight. She's in it for the game and the love of the game.
yeah.
And you know, just elevating her team to be a better team.
Yeah.
And it's so disappointing because it's like, why can't you know, mean girls look at her and be like, okay, why is she so popular? Why is everybody loving her? Why is everyone like, why are her games selling 3 times more a ticket than they are our games? And a lot of it has to do with how she presents herself and how she treats the other women around her, and she's respected for it, and they're not. And it's like, that should be like an internalization. You should take that like, okay, maybe I should change my attitude a little bit, and maybe I'll get some of the love too, and not
Right.
try and say I deserve all the love, because I'm also a good basketball player or whatever.
Right, right.
So,
I've had women in my life that I really admire, a lot of women that I really admire, and that's like generally what I do is like I'll look at them and just be like, wow, they're fucking killing it. I want to be like that.
right. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And how can I do that too?
Yeah.
Or be like that?
Or just go up to them and be like, how are you killing it so hard? Give me tips.
Right? Like, don't gatekeep. Let's be friends. Let's be
right,
friends.
right.
Yeah, I feel like that's, kind of where I hope like our society, especially as women, is going this day and age, that we're, like the straighten each other's crowns, like bring each
Absolutely.
other up,
Absolutely.
support each other in your endeavors. Like, there's enough out there, we can support each other and all get whatever it is, that you're needing. If you're
Yeah.
wanting, the recognition, if you're wanting, the, anything like the clients, if you're wanting the friends, if you're wanting the there's so much out there. There's enough to go around that we can help each other get whatever it is and all be successful with it.
Right.
Like, we don't have to push other people down to be more successful.
Right.
There's no reason for it.
Right.
It just
And it's kind of ugly.
it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
It does. It's grody.
Yeah. Like, no thanks. So that's the gossip I've been learning about sports. And I'm sorry if I got some of it wrong, but again, not a sports girl. But it's making me, who, again, I have probably not seen a basketball game in 20 years. Maybe when I was in high school and I dated a basketball player, might be my last time I saw a basketball game. And it's making me interested again in the sport
That's
because
cool.
of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, take what you're giving, it's
Yeah.
like, take
Yeah.
the new fan base and appreciate it, and not have to shove other women down, and just kind of help elevate it.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very interesting just situation that's going on that we can all kind of learn from, and and also give support to women's sports because they deserve it. They are very underrated, and there's some fantastic athletes. Like, I couldn't do it, so
Right. I know. My sister was a mega athlete. She was like college football, not football, basketball. Our topic. And she like hurt her knee, but she was like going places. But yeah, she was a badass. My sister's fucking badass.
It's crazy. Like,
I know.
one of my nieces plays like 4 sports. The other one plays 1, and they are so dedicated. Like, that's all.
And like to think about them having to go through something like that, like
Right.
that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's like high school bully, and it's like you would think by then you've outgrown that you guys have all matured, and it just kills me because it just feels like a whole bully situation, and you're bringing someone down just so that you can feel like you can step up. Like, your only form of feeling like you have any power or
valid or something. Validation is like by
stepping on other people.
stepping on other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Yeah.
No good.
Not
no
a fan.
good.
Nope. But
That's not what we're all about. We're all about raising each other up and spreading the
Supporting,
abundance. There's enough abundance to go around. We spread the joy. We love positivity. There's no room for negativity in our lives.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't try to fit in. You were born to stand out, bitch.
Right? So, thanks for joining our sports conversation for the day. There probably won't be a whole lot of those, but
Also, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate the support that we're getting from people out there. It makes us feel good and happy.
Yeah. Because, that's what it's all about, supporting your friends, supporting other people, and,
get out there and support Caitlin Clark.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
She's a badass.
We're fans,
Mm-hmm.
sort of. We will be fans.
Okay, so speaking of don't try to fit in, you were born to stand out. Like, I never felt like I fit in anywhere. And I always had, mean girls that were kind of on my toes or whatever. And I always wondered why, because I was always such like a happy person and a happy kid. And I didn't understand why people could be mean to me and like all that kind of thing. And so as I got older, I kind of used actually getting tattooed to stand out, so to speak, because I didn't fit the mold of like this, body that was being portrayed to me in the 80s, 90s. And I didn't like have boyfriends, and I didn't stand out in that way. And so I started getting tattooed because not only do I just love art, and like when I was in junior high, I was the kid that was like constantly sharpieing on my arms every day and stuff. And so I kind of knew that I was gonna be tattooed, like heavily tattooed, as an adult. And then yeah, when I got my first tattoo when I turned 18,
That like started it.
it was like I felt so good in my body. Like I got a butterfly, a tiny little butterfly flash from the wall.
Okay.
And I got it on my 18th birthday, and I was just like, oh, like it was on my back, and I was like, oh, I gotta wear my halter top now. I gotta show this off. Oh, it feels so good. And I actually felt good in my body, and I felt,
Yeah.
I felt
like that's how you're supposed to be.
And that's how I could stand out or whatever. And then that's when it started. And then I was just like, okay, next one, next one, next one. How do I get money to get the next one? So, yeah, that's how the journey of my tattoos started. How about yours? What's your story about standing out and fitting in? And like obviously we stand out by being this way, but
I was totally different. Growing up, I was the blonde-haired, tan, debutante family. I didn't get my first tattoo until I was 27 years old. Wow. And I was like debating for a long time. I ended up getting some stars on my back for my nieces and nephews. And that was my first tattoo. And then I didn't get tattooed again until I actually moved from Arizona, and I moved here to St. Louis. And first, I actually had booked with Matt, our boss, and he was booked.
My mentor.
Yes. He was like booked 6 months out. So I scheduled with him, and then I didn't get a tattoo for like six months. He did the sleeve for me. And then somebody else had recommended another friend of, well, not a friend of mine, recommended another artist. Her name is Mel. And she is now a very good friend of mine. And we started our friendship. And she was literally the first friend I had moving here.
In St. Louis?
In St. Louis. She was the
really?
first friend I had. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And so we built this friendship of her tattooing me.
Oh, and women supporting women.
And then through her, I ended up meeting another wonderful female artist, Becca. And so she's done more of my tattoos.
Okay, quick plug.
Yes.
Becca and Mel, Becca owns Mean Girls. Full circle.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls Tattoo.
But they're not mean, I promise. I promise. Mean Girls Inc. They're big fans of the movie. So, yeah.
Do they have a website?
They, I know they are.
If they have a website, we'll link it in the description.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll put on their Instagram,
right?
And so
it's
that
Mean
you can
Girls
check
with
out
a
their.
Z. And they're fantastic. It's all women artists over there. Carmi is also over there. So I literally became friends with all of these women tattoo artists that kind of really started my journey to getting tattooed. And I built these great friendships here. And then I met you. So it's like all of these fantastic, strong, creative, talented. I love creative people, which is funny because I cannot draw a stick figure, but you do crappy shit badass. Yes, yeah, I can do.
Don't downplay yourself, girl.
We'll just say my drawing is not the best, but yeah, I'm surrounded by these super fantastic female artists, and that kind of continued my tattoo journey. And then I got tattooed by Matt finally 6 months later, and he continued with that. And we just kind of had kept a social media relationship up until he was hiring. And now I have found my new tattoo family home here. And I've been here 2 years this summer. And we just keep
coming
going.
up on 3.
Right?
I know.
So it's been a really cool journey, I feel like, since I've moved here. And I kind of came out of like my shell.
So what's that been? Yeah, like what's that been like from being a debutante? Blondie to a red-headed
tattoo. People don't recognize me back home anymore. Like face is kind of the same. None of the rest of you is the same. And
See, I think that's the opposite for like when I go back home. It's like, oh yeah, that's like what she
that's
was.
what she looks like.
That was what she was supposed to look
Yeah,
like.
I have friends who are like, wow, I never pictured this. And I think I still sometimes shock my mom and my sister and my nephews every once in a while with getting more and becoming more colorful.
Yeah.
And I don't think my nephews have seen me with normal colored hair since they were babies.
Yeah.
But it's me, and I like it. I like being colorful. I think that's a big part of why I like tattoos. Why I like the color. It makes me happy. It brings me joy.
Yeah, me too.
Tattoos just bring us joy.
Yeah.
So
make me feel comfortable in my body, make me feel comfortable in my skin,
right,
make me feel like I can identify other people that maybe might have the same mindset as me or the same outlook to life or whatever too, which is
right.
like also intrinsically why people get tattooed and why humans have been getting tattooed since the beginning of humans, right? Is to like identify your tribe, to identify people that
are part of your culture or part of your
and I feel like that's very like relevant today too, because it's like
it crosses so many boundaries, I feel like, and it brings so many people together because there's so many different reasons people get tattooed, and
there's there's reasons why people don't get tattooed, right. And there's it's like the people who are scared of me at the grocery store because my throat is tattooed. Cool, they're not my people. I don't need to try to like. I'll still say like, hello and how's your day? I love your bag. I'll still do that, even though they're scared of me. But I don't need to bring anyone down though, just because they're different than me.
I think one of my favorite is when you get like a nice little lady and you think that she's probably gonna not like them, and she comes up like
clutch your purse or something.
Yeah, I think that and she's like, it's just so pretty. I love all the colors, and it's like. Okay, and you really kind of get to know people and strangers. I feel like it really gets, it's a doorway to open,
like a conversation starter for 100%. Sure. So many times I've like met friends that were just like, whoa,
right,
I like your tattoos or whatever, and then kicks off the conversation to be something bigger and better, and
grow your tribe.
Yeah,
that's what we're about, growing your tribe.
I think there's a lot of power in that, and there's a lot of really cool positive enforcements to
I think so
like
too.
identifying a certain way and like being able to identify others.
And I feel like the tattoo community is also a very accepting like of your body and your shape. There it's kind of you don't have to be a certain shape to wear a bikini. You don't have to be a certain shape to have a tattoo.
Right.
Everybody is welcome to have a tattoo.
Right.
You are, whatever your self-expression, your reasoning behind it, there's no gatekeep on who or who cannot have a tattoo, and that's just like a welcoming sense.
So I sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
I saw a statistic the other day that was like, whoa, it's actually more common to have a tattoo than it is to not now.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't remember what the numbers were, but it's like more people have tattoos than people not have tattoos.
I know.
Does that make sense? Did I say that right?
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like I know it's in a lot of workplaces, it's a lot more accepting now.
Right.
Visible tattoos, whereas before, I mean, I had a job. It was you couldn't show any kind of tattoos.
Yeah, and like you even had to put a Band-Aid on it or some
cover it up. And nowadays, I mean, my day job's a corporate job, and while I do work from home, when I was there was no don't show anything. I mean, obviously we were professional and dressed professional, but there wasn't any type of feeling like, Nadia, you have to cover up every single inch of your tattoos. You can't be seen possibly by a client by having a tattoo. There was never any of that vibe there, which I really appreciated. Or with my hair color, that wasn't an issue either. And I changed it some crazy colors.
Also, I think it's kind of sexy when you're like all dressed up in professional wear and then you got your tattoos hanging out. That's hot. That's hot as shit. Men and women.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So yeah, I do feel like a lot of professions are also becoming a lot more accepting of alternative looking.
Well, if the statistic is you're more likely to have a tattoo, then like obviously you have to start hiring people with tattoos, or else you don't get have anyone to work for you,
right? Fair enough point. Like,
I think that's how I think that's why it is like that in the military now too, because like with my son being in the Air Force, the regulations for tattoos in the military are like way lax now. So like yeah, it's like basically you can't have like your hands and your neck tattooed, and even that's like negotiable.
I feel like it used to be something like you couldn't see it under like a polo shirt or something. Was there old rules? It was something along those lines where it was like you couldn't, if they had their short sleeve dress, you couldn't see anything below that or something like that.
And like I know in St. Louis anyway, from like his recruiter, that they were kind of desperate for recruits, and so they're kind of like they had to change the rules so that they could start accepting people, just like how they like, oh, let's lower the test scores a little bit so we can accept more people. They're like, tattoos, that's not enough.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
That's nothing. We're good.
Yeah. So yeah, Aiden was really excited to come and get his first tattoo from his mom. I know it was really fun. I got to tattoo my son. He's 19, so he is of legal age.
We're not tattooing minors. Yeah, youngins, minors.
And he was really excited to have his mom give him a tattoo and got him 2. It was really fun. Well, and then he went back to tech school, and like all of his friends were like, "Whoa, that's really good! Like I didn't know your mom was good." And I was like, "Thanks,
right?
Thanks, and thanks."
Yeah. It's like obviously he was not talking us up very much. He should have,
right?
But no, that's such a cool memory for him. To we know how we got our first tattoos, and his memory is his mom gave him his first tattoo. Like that's a huge deal. I feel like
I think it's pretty cool. I was trying to convince him to get a mom heart, but he didn't. I've got a mom heart. I love my mom.
I have a kind of a dandelion for my mom picked it out. It is a dandelion for Donna. So that is her tattoo. She picked it out.
Cute. I love Donna. She's the best.
She's so cute.
We have great moms. Our moms.
Do.
Yeah.
We really
Deanne
do.
and Donna.
Yep. I'm friends with your mom now on social media.
That's awesome.
I love it. She is like she's amazing.
My mom is amazing. She just started doing taking up art in like her 50s or whatever. She like just started doing it. She never really did it like when I was a kid or anything. And she's been having gallery opening after gallery opening. She's like selling art in Austin, Texas. She's like having her art up in different like churches and different stuff. It's so cool, and I'm really proud of her for like putting herself out there.
I saw her post. I was like, she has such an exciting life.
I know. It's so cool. And she was always like, I don't know where you get your artistic talent. And I'm like, obviously from you,
right?
We just didn't know it.
Yes.
Hi, Mom.
Hello. Our moms are our biggest fans too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We have very good moms.
Anyway. That was another 13 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah, that's like a whole episode.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to do like a little outro? Oh, we have the outro, but like, do you want to just do a little conclusion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So, in conclusion, from our day's topic, don't be mean girls, because they're not cool. We're not fans.
Especially if like fitting in means that you have to be mean.
Yeah.
Why?
Right. Then you're not part of the cool club like we are. Like, straighten each other's crowns, lift each other up, support your friends, support your families.
And don't ever dim your light for someone else.
Agreed.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, let your light shine. Don't put your passions, your needs, your anything behind another person, because who you are is just as important as anybody around you.
Right.
So share that light, share your passions, share what your interests are, share all of that with the people around you.
And do it unapologetically.
Right?
Because who the fuck cares what anyone else thinks?
If you love it, that's what matters. If you enjoy doing it, that's what matters.
Right.
Find your joy, live your joy, and yeah, be good people.
And be nice.
Yeah, be nice. Be good
we
people.
love you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks for watching our video. Come back next time and watch our quirky conversations. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And also don't forget to follow our TikTok and our Instagram pages as well. Thanks.